Carrie, when are you planning on coming over this year? Normally you always show up unexpectedly, so this year I'd like to have a rough time frame for when you'll be back so that I can have food and all that ready for you. So can you please give me a time when you'll likely be coming back?
Well, that's an odd question to be asking someone like me. You see, that house is my family's house, so I get to choose when I want to be home and don't have to tell anyone. And that means you're not going to hear a thing from me. Now, would you shut up and stop acting like that house has anything to do with you and get back to being my little brother's wife? Seeing you act all dumb and naive like that kind of makes me upset. Well, I suppose you aren't acting dumb or naive at all right now, and that's why you were forced to quit your job, right?
The reason for why I had to end up quitting my job is a reason that you should already be very familiar with, Carrie.
Shut up! Would you stop being so cocky like that towards me when all you are is an in-law? Honestly, you are the worst. How the hell can a complete stranger like you even be allowed in my family's house? You already had to quit your job, so there's pretty much no hope for you at all. Yet you went and crawled into your husband's family's house thinking that that was the next great thing you could do. What is wrong with you, Samantha? I would really like to meet whatever parents ended up raising you. I bet the both of them are just as useless and inexperienced as you are.
I understand that you really don't think highly of me at all, Carrie. But could you please just give me a date for when you think you might be coming back here? I plan on going out shopping for ingredients and things like that, so please let me know when you plan to be here.
For some reason, I think there's a little confusion here. I never said or meant to make you think that I hate you, Samantha. I am. I'm just making sure that a child like you gets a proper education so that you may become an adult like the rest of us. We all know that you just wandered into your husband's parents' home and have been doing whatever you please there this whole time. And the reason that has been allowed to persist is because both my parents are too soft.
Did you just say that I'm here doing whatever I please?
That's what I said. And one piece of evidence that I have to prove that is you having that lock on your bedroom door. Last year when I was there, you had a lock installed on your door, and that was really off to me. How dare you find privacy in my family's home when you're nothing more than my brother's wife?
You're talking about that? I just happened to fix the lock that was already on the door because it had been broken for so long. I rarely even use the lock on that door anyway.
Ugh, this is what I'm talking about. You are not some child anymore, so would you please give it all up already? Samantha. While we're all still being a little bit kind to you, you should take the chance to learn how to be a proper woman and a proper wife to my family.
I'm sorry, but so far not a thing you have said to me has been very kind at all.
Well then, I cannot believe I had to hear from you that you don't even accept my kindness towards you. Then allow me to just forget about being nice. You are not allowed to act as though you are something special to my family when you quit your job and became a parasite to my parents. You should be jealous of someone like me who actually has a job and is far more pretty than you in every aspect. But you're not even jealous or anything, which shows me that you don't understand the position you're in just yet. Just know that for the time being, you have to listen to and do everything I say. And the reason for that is because you're my little brother's wife. You've really done it now, making me eat something like that. Just because you hate me doesn't mean you can do something like that to me.
I do not hate you, and that was not meant to upset you in any way. If anything, it's you that got up and did something terrible to me.
I did something terrible to you? What? What terrible thing are you talking about? I'm the one who's the victim here, so don't start trying to act like you're the one who's hurt. You must always act that way in order to get your way with things. Is your head all right? Do you need to go and speak to a therapist or something about that?
Would you stop talking to me like that? You came home once again without telling us when you'd show up, and as you walked through the door, you began to complain about how tired you were and that you wanted me to make you dinner right then.
So I had to hurry up and get something fixed up for you, so don't you get mad at me when this is on you. This is why I asked you when you'd be home, so that I could prepare for you. Come on now, I was just being real with you is all. And I am. Look at your cooking. I'm not going to say it's all bad, but what you served me was inedible. That's why I told you it tasted like crap. I wouldn't even feed that garbage to some pigs. But the fact that you're getting mad over me just speaking the truth now just goes to show how much of a child you still are. Honestly, I'm not even upset about you calling my food disgusting and saying it's not even fit for pigs. But just because you don't like it and think it tastes disgusting does not give you the right to take that bowl of soup and chuck it at my head. Are you crazy, Carrie? What? You? Are you really saying that about me right now? The only one who's crazy here is you. The one that came into this house without ever paying for a thing, acting like you can just do as you please with no repercussion for it. Jeez, the moment something doesn't go your way, you freak out and act like a baby. And now you're calling me the crazy one for your actions? How hurtful! I am a victim to your harassment of me. I told you that I have not been harassing you. Stop trying to play dumb here, you idiot. I heard both my parents saying that what you cooked them was wonderful and tasted amazing. Yet for some reason my food was disgusting. You made my food disgusting on purpose, didn't you? I am finally back to see all of you again, so you should have A5 Wagyu beef ready for me to eat. You got that bowl of soup to your face because you served me some gross slop.
That's enough from you, Missy. Consider this the end of your life here.
What?
I'm so sorry, Samantha. I did not mean to take your phone and reply to Carrie like that.
You don't have to be sorry for that, Wayne. I'm sure that you were just as fed up with her as I was when you took a look at my phone. So thank you very much for stepping in there and ending that miserable conversation.
Well, of course I was going to end it. I will not sit there watching as my daughter starts to treat you as though you are nothing more than her slave. And what she did to you at the dinner table today was outrageous. Tell me, for how long has my daughter been treating you like that? Before, I had always thought that the two of you got along so well with one another, but what I saw today was anything but.
In front of all you guys, she puts on an act to make it seem as though her and I are close. But in reality, anytime she gets close to coming home, she starts to treat me like I'm lesser than all of you. And she seems to think that because she's my older sister-in-law that I have to listen to everything she says. Anytime I try and say anything back to her, she'll just get upset with me and start to call me an idiot and a child.
Why did you not talk with us about that sooner, Samantha?
I didn't want to say anything bad about your daughter at the time. It would make me feel bad talking about your guys' family in a mean way.
Well, thank you for thinking about how we'd feel. But there is no reason to hold back information about my daughter like that when she's been treating you like a monster.
But Wayne...
So here's what we'll do. We'll make sure you never have to hold any information back from my family again.
What?
You're my daughter, after all. So you have every right to say what you feel about us. And considering that I feel as though you're another daughter of mine, having to see you get hurt today by Carrie really, really upset me. So from here on out, you do everything to make sure Carrie can't hurt you anymore.
Samantha, I'm heading to the next town over today to get some shopping done, so would you get the van for me? I plan to go in 10 minutes, so hurry it up.
Carrie, before you start asking me to do even more things for you, isn't there something we should be talking about?
What? What should we be talking about? I don't have anything to tell you right now, honestly.
Don't you hide how you really feel from me. Did you not just throw a bowl of soup at my head yesterday? Yet you still have not apologized to me for any of what happened then, and are now asking me to drive you to the mall?
Why do you think I'd still want to listen to anything you have to say and ask from me now? What's all that about? I didn't do anything to deserve having you yell at me like that. You really are nothing but a spoiled brat, huh? The moment something you don't like happens, you quickly start to yell at everyone and anyone hoping for something to comfort you. How old are you again? Please grow up a little bit, all right? That is the reason no company or anything wants you working for them.
I want to know what your reason is for always belittling me like that. I get it. I got married a year before you could, but it was just a year, and really that shouldn't mean anything to you anyway.
I'm not belittling you over anything, Samantha. It's just the truth that you are below me.
What?
My husband happens to be a well-regarded elite, yet the man you married, my little brother, is a nobody. And the reason I can say that is because he ended up marrying a completely useless woman like you.
Would you shut the hell up already? How dare you start to take jabs at my husband now? I don't care that he's your little brother. You are older than both of us and should be way more mature than that.
Ugh, oh my God. Getting all upset again, little missy? Nobody ever said you could just start yelling at me like that again. I wonder when the day will come when you just grow up and stop acting like a spoiled brat. Now, would you just get that van out here for me? As my little brother's wife, you should be forced to listen to every little thing I ask of you. I must be a really nice sister to be taking all this crap from you and still not having you kicked out of the house. You! What have you done to me?
Hello, Carrie. You seem a little upset. Might I ask what's happened with you?
Stop playing dumb! What the hell is this? I just got a call from the police saying that I'm being asked to come in as I'm being treated as a suspect now? This is your doing, isn't it?
Ah, you want to talk about that? You've done a whole lot of things to me in the past, Carrie, but what happened yesterday was one step too far, and I wasn't going to take it anymore. And your dad was telling me that when the time came that I couldn't handle what you were doing to me anymore, to not try and withstand it anymore.
Huh? Why the hell is my dad on your side right now? I know for a fact that by getting my dad all caught up in this, you're pissing him off. You cut this crap out right now, Samantha. I have always known you to act like a child, but this time you're being completely ridiculous. Please grow up already.
I've thought about this for a very long time now, but you seem to do everything in your power to continue to think of me as a child.
That's right. I mean, look at you. The moment something happens that you don't like, you just freak out right away and start to cry. And then you get all upset and start to yell at me. At least sometimes a kid ends up calming down and gives up, but in your case, you just keep carrying on whatever made-up grudge you have after flipping out. I have to say, considering that now, you are worse than a child.
So far, it's been you acting like the child here, though, and that's why I find it a little bit concerning that you are still allowed to be treated as an adult.
Excuse me? What did you just say to me? Tell me right now what things I've done that have made me look like a child.
But, Carrie, just like a child, you go about your life lying all the time. You've been talking about me being the one that had to be forced to quit their job and now lives with your parents. Yet you're the one who has never had a job before and continue to just sit around as a housewife. I totally view the job of a housewife as being difficult and much like any other kind of work. But you aren't like other proper housewives. You always say that you never want to do any chores, so you hired a housekeeper to come all the time, and then go out to spend the rest of your husband's money on things like skin treatments and mani-pedis.
Why do you know about that?
Your husband, my brother-in-law. He started to talk with your mom about how your overstepping is becoming a real problem for him.
You eavesdropped on that conversation? What kind of mannerless creature are you?
What? I didn't eavesdrop on that conversation. I'm the one taking care of your mom all the time, so I'm always by your side.
What?
Last year, your mom's legs started to become really bad, and ever since then, she hasn't been able to really care for herself anymore. That's why I ended up quitting my job and moved in with your parents so that I could start watching after your mom. You were asked to come home by your dad already to take care of your mom, but you told him to get lost and have someone else do it. That someone else being me. So that's why I ended up hearing all about you as well, since I'm with her for about 3/4 of the day, every day. Of course, when she tells me she wants to be alone, I'll leave her be, but at the time she was talking to your husband, she kept me around.
There's no way.
I have kept all of this a secret from your dad and your brother in order to not embarrass you any. But I guess there was no point in being kind to you, was there? I've been bearing all of that crap for you for so long, but all this time you still haven't once learned about what you're doing is completely wrong.
Learned that what I'm doing is wrong? I haven't done anything wrong, Samantha. All that crap about me spending money is something my husband and I have to chat about. It should never end up in the ears or mouth of a stranger.
That would normally be the case, right? But that's not what I'm talking about.
What?
This whole time, Carrie, you've been treating me as though I'm a slave of yours or something, right? You rarely ever come back to see your parents and brother, but when you do, every half a year to a year, you have me do all the work for you. You have me come out and get all your things for you. You have me cook all your food for you. You have me clean your room out for you and clean the shower for you. Honestly, all of that I could handle because I've been doing all of that stuff in the house for your mom and dad anyway. But you want to know what you've been doing this whole time that's really gotten me worked up? What I said made you more of a child than me and a very big liar? The fact that whenever you came back to this house, things like my brand bags and my jewelry go missing. But the crazy thing is they don't go missing for long. Because every time on the day you're leaving to head back to your house, you wear that jewelry and hold those bags like you didn't just steal them from me. At first, I didn't want to believe what I was seeing. But then I started to think about when the lock to my bedroom broke. And guess what? The day it broke was back when you first came back to this house after I'd already moved in.
That's just, you just happen to have the same jewelry and brand bags that I have.
And whenever I'd ask you about all the things you took from me, you'd reply back by saying they're all yours. Every time, that's what you'd always say. And then you wouldn't just start to get upset with me for asking about my bags and jewelry, but you'd then start to put all those things out and show them to me, saying they were yours and bragging to me like you were some 5th grader. But all those times you'd been like family to me, and I was hoping that at some point in time you'd learn to grow up and stop stealing from me. You and I aren't even related by blood, yet I still viewed you as family and hoped you treating me like crap would end soon. I really, really, really had hope for you, Carrie. But I also really wanted to end all of that by bringing everything up to your family and having them take care of you. However, I was worried about your dad and the fact that he might become depressed hearing about how his middle-aged daughter has still not grown up. So I just kept taking all that crap from you.
Well, then you'd better keep taking it. You really aren't going to be able to handle what I'm serving up this time to you. Have you gone weak or something? Nobody cares that you get treated like garbage by me because that's what every wife like you experiences from their in-laws.
You're really going to say that when it's only you that's been treating me like garbage? After what you did to me with that bowl of soup, your dad told me to not hold back with you any longer. That's why I tore down that wall to defend myself against you and will now be going on the offensive. I'm tired of your crap, Carrie. After considering everything you've done to me, I made the choice to tell the police and asked them to handle your actions now.
You can't do that to me. Things of my brother's wife are also mine, so there's no way the police can come and arrest me over that. Not only are you younger than me by a bit, but the fact that you're now trying to have one of your own family members arrested is insane.
I think it's insane you consider me family now, after all that talk about how I'm a complete stranger.
Shut the hell up! You are just a freaking idiot and have no idea the kind of person I am and how magnificent I can be. Well, no matter. I'm sure the police won't bother with what you've told them, and only want me to come see them so that they can let me know how sorry they feel that I have to have an in-law like you. Well, when the time comes that you realize you've lost and not even the law will help you, I'll go and sell all your jewelry as a finishing move. But of course, don't feel as though I'm doing any of that in order to get you riled up.
I really am looking forward to seeing how much longer you'll be willing to act like such a brat. Carrie, just wanted to let you know that before, I had only told the police about how you were stealing from me. But after the way you continued to act yesterday, I made sure to update them about how you had also assaulted me with that bowl of soup. I hope you'll learn to regret everything you've done to me.
You really keep telling the police on me like they'll bother? Well, I'm sorry, but you're just wasting your time, little girl. You don't even have any evidence, yet you keep going to the police with your little crazy episodes. Are you really okay, mentally? Only a brainless idiot like yourself would be able to go through with all that stuff, not noticing how much you've been wasting your time. I'm sure it'll all come to bite you in the butt soon enough.
As of right now, the police are working on writing up a report on you. That will then be sent to an investigator and to a lawyer of my choosing.
Well, I'm not some criminal. There will be nothing they can do about me.
Is that right? I made sure to tell your husband about what's been going on as well, and so far, he's praying that you're not the one at fault for everything.
What? Wait, why would you tell my husband about this? I don't get what you'd have to gain by telling him about this.
Well, your house will be searched soon for evidence of you having stolen things from me. And there is also the chance you'll try to tamper with any evidence or witnesses. As of right now, the police see you as a suspect, and one who is very close to being a criminal. You still don't seem to get that, though, do you?
I haven't done anything wrong. I haven't even done anything worth feeling guilty about.
Then please continue doing what you've been doing. If nothing ends up coming from the investigation into you, then your husband won't have to divorce you and you'll be able to remain a part of this family.
What?
You said it yourself, didn't you? That your husband is an elite. And as an elite, he doesn't see the point in having himself a wife that commits crimes all the time. I'm sorry, but so far your husband doesn't seem 100% convinced that you're innocent and has been preparing for the worst. He told me that on his way home from work today, he'll be seeing a lawyer. If not even your husband is willing to side with you anymore, can you really call yourself a good wife? Who knows what'll happen next in a relationship where the husband is actively seeking out help from a lawyer in case his wife really is crazy. I'm sure things won't be ending well for you, though.
You stop that right now! If my elite husband throws me away, then I'll be screwed! If he divorces me, then there'll be nobody left to treat me like the queen I am!
As far as I'm aware, you've never been a queen, so what's the big deal? You need to start understanding that you're pretty much anything but a queen, and that you need to pay for lying to yourself that you are one. And understand that you having to pay for such a thing requires that you will never be able to do as you want again.
No way. Oh, this is all a load of crap. All of this is a freaking lie. Hey, Dad, why are you taking sides with that crappy and mean child? I am your actual little girl, right? All that creature is my brother's crazy wife who needs to learn how to listen and respect me. As my father and her father-in-law, you need to step in and make sure she can't act like a child anymore.
The only daughter I have now is Samantha.
What? What the hell? I'm your real daughter.
You are not my daughter at all. I understand that you have my blood, but even you don't see your mother and I as your real parents, right?
Of course I do. Both you and Mom are very important family to me.
Then tell me, Carrie, what have you done for us in the past 10 years that shows us you are still our loving daughter? When your mother started to have bad legs and couldn't care for herself anymore, you told us to get lost and have Samantha care for us.
That was just bad timing then.
That's right. That's exactly what we expected out of you. The timing wasn't right, and it's not like things mattered to you anyway because both your mother and I won't be around for much longer. You even lived pretty close to us and still didn't come at all to see her when she was in the hospital. And outside of maybe a couple of times a year, you never stop over or even call either of us to say hi. Yet all this time, Samantha has been beside us. Even before moving in and leaving her job, she would come over every day after work and make sure your mother and I were fine.
The only reason she can do all of that is because she has all that time on her hands. She must think of herself as all that just for stopping by to see you both every day. Dad, you need to stop being tricked by that witch. She just thinks she can get away with anything now, all because she did a couple nice things for you both. She thinks she needs to be praised for those little insignificant things she's done, and that's not right.
The reason why we all praise her is because she's done enough to deserve it. She went and quit her well-paying job, all in order to move in with us and make sure that my wife, your mother, is being taken care of as her legs get worse and worse. She barely was even a part of the family when she first started to give up her time to come see us, having only just married your brother. Everything she has done and sacrificed for your mother and I are worth praising for, and she knows that. Unlike you, who expects to be spoiled for doing nothing at all.
But there's no way a woman like myself, who's become the wife of an elite, can have time to come out and care for you both. I don't even want to help care for you guys when I have a massive house of my own to live in. Also, those kinds of chores are what's expected from the younger brother's wife.
Did you just call taking care of your own mother and father a chore? That woman has done everything for not just her mother-in-law, but me. We would have been screwed had your brother not married a woman like her, because unlike the both of you, she's actually grown into a fine adult and knows how to take care of her family. Unlike both of you and your brother, who both seem to be indifferent when it comes to your family, she stepped in and made sure that even us two older folk are all right. Everything that your parents have right now is because of her.
Oh, please, Dad, you're the one that's done everything for yourself and for Mom. She hasn't done a single thing besides crawl into that house with you both after giving up the only job she had.
You're still going on like that? Can you just shut the hell up already, Carrie?
What?
You have done nothing for this family. And even when you have come home to us on those rare occasions, you didn't help with any of the chores while asking for Samantha to do everything for you. Something really bad must have happened to you when your mother and I raised you, because we never meant to raise a spoiled brat like you. I'm going to take responsibility for what you've become, and that's why I'm putting my foot down right here.
Putting your foot down?
You are not our daughter anymore. All you are now is a complete stranger to this family. You get out of this house right now and go home. And don't you ever, ever dare come back to this house again. Your mother and I will no longer even look at you when you ask for help. From now on, you are on your own.
What? No way, Dad. Oh, you have to be joking. There's no way you're cutting ties to me now. If you cut ties to me, then where am I going to go home to? Hey, Dad. Listen to me, Dad. Where will I go? Help me, god dang it!
Samantha. Carrie was placed under arrest. Not only was she stealing from you, but also some of her friends and husband's family members. There was a lot of evidence to prove all of that, so there was no way for her to get away from the police this time.
Wayne, thank you so much for updating me on that. I had honestly thought it was only me that she was stealing from all that time, but I guess there were other victims as well.
I am so sorry for that she had done. Had I done a better job both raising and watching over my daughter, none of this would have happened here. I never did a good enough job as her father, and it shows now.
None of this is your fault, Wayne. Of course kids take a lot from their parents as they get older. But that does not make them exact copies of you. And she is in her 40s now and has had plenty of years now to both correct her ways or only make them worse on her own. Therefore, she only has herself to blame for what she's done.
But
If you're really that upset about what's happened and want to continue blaming yourself, then I'm going to be worried about how you care for your grandchild.
what?
We'd been so focused on Carrie this whole time that it took me a while to find the right time to tell you this. And actually, I have 2 things to tell you about. The first being your wife's legs have actually started to get better again, and she can walk around a bit more on her own. And so I had a talk with her about what to do next, and she feels that it would be both better for herself and better for me that she get herself an actual caretaker. Because, well, I'm going to be having a baby here soon. That's the second piece of news that I needed to update you on. Both myself and your son want you guys to have a grandchild in your lives, and that's why we ended up going all in.
Are you serious? Samantha, you really are the best daughter a man like myself could ever ask for. You already went and spent so many years taking care of my wife as well as me. Now you're wanting to bring us a grandchild. I'm being very serious when I say that you are the best thing that's ever happened to us.
You don't have to thank me that much. This is really only the start of things to come for me, and there will be plenty of challenges I'll need to help with ahead. I might even have to start asking the both of you for some help. So please, in the future, would you be willing to give me a helping hand?
Of course I will. After all you've done for my family, that's the least I could do for you. I'll make sure to be there whenever you need me, and to help with whatever I can.
Thank you very much for saying that. From now on, I want to make sure that everyone helps out in raising my baby, little by little, so that they can one day be an even better adult than all of us. My sister-in-law was taken into custody by the police and would be sitting in jail for months as all the court cases from all of those that she harmed went by. She would end up owing a lot of people a lot of money and would go into some serious debt, paying everyone the amount they deserved. Also, while she was sitting in county going through all the cases, her husband went and handed in their divorce paperwork to the courthouse. After the divorce had gone through and she had been released from being held, she came back to an empty house as her ex had sold everything and moved away. She had no choice but to go to one of her distant aunt's places, as everyone else had already cut ties to her. There, she was forced to start working under her aunt at a store she owned, and would continue working there until she paid every bit of debt she was in off. As for what happened to myself after that mess, I gave birth to a little baby girl. My mother-in-law started to get a lot better on her feet again, and no longer needed much help at all from anyone besides her professional caretaker. My father-in-law has done wonders in making sure to watch after my daughter while I'm out of the house with my husband, and that smile he always had on his face returned as he now has his first grandchild to focus on. Everyone in the family looks to be really happy again, and there's not been one word about Carrie after she paid me back for all the items she stole from me.